My beloved child, today is not an ordinary day, and this is not an ordinary message. On today, heaven has marked this moment with precision. Jesus himself is reaching toward you right now. Not later, not tomorrow, but now. If this showed up in front of you, it's because you were meant to see it. This is really bad. Something is already moving in the spirit, and the next 30 minutes are very important. Do not take this lightly, because times like this don't come around very often. Pay attention to this. A lot of people are scrolling, moving, and being distracted, but you stopped here. That isn't a mistake. Jesus knows where to find his own, and he purposely messed up your plans today. There is a reason why this message was sent to you instead of the noise. Right now, heaven is not yelling at the crowd. It's whispering right to you. I will explain what is going on behind the scenes. The Lord saw how hard things have been for you. He heard the questions you didn't say out loud. You almost gave up and said, "I don't know how much longer I can hold on." He saw that. Jesus didn't scold you. Instead, he walked closer. He told Archangel Michael to keep an eye on this moment and make sure nothing gets in the way of what is about to be given to you. Time is important, so this is a big deal. If you know what to do, you can step through divine windows that open for a short time. You can ignore them, and they'll close quietly. Jesus wants to talk to you because things are coming together in a way that can't be put off any longer. What your spirit is telling you is real. You didn't feel that strange pull by chance before you clicked on this message. It was an answer. Pay close attention. Do not be afraid for the next 30 minutes. They have to do with teaching. Heaven isn't trying to scare you with this message. Heaven is telling you to get ready. There is a change going on in your life that not everyone should know about just yet. That's why you were told not to tell anyone about this. Before they show up in power, some things grow best in silence. As a keeper of divine order, Archangel Michael is present. Archangel Michael is always ready to help fix things in heaven. He keeps what God is building safe and stops anything that tries to get in the way. He is standing on the edge of your future right now, making sure that doubt, distractions, and voices from outside of you don't get in the way of what Jesus has planned for you. Open your eyes and stay with me, Jesus tells them. This message is being shown one step at a time. Every word is meant to be there. Every pause is important. You might have a strange sense of urgency, like something important is about to come to light. That's how you should feel. There's a truth that will hit you soon, and it will change the way you live your life. Do not rush. Do not do more than one thing at once. Pay full attention to this moment. When Jesus talks quickly, it's not because he can't keep up. He steps in before things get too bad because he loves you that much. He's stepping in early so you don't have to clean up after him. This shows mercy at work. Some of you may be wondering, why me? It's a simple but deep answer you heard before. You believed even when it was hard. Life tried to make you tough, but you stayed soft. You didn't let your faith die, even when it felt weak. That's why heaven believes this message comes from you. Now something is being kept from you until you get this instruction. The mood around you will change once you understand what Jesus is telling you. It will be easier to make decisions. Worry will lose its hold. Where there used to be stress, there will now be peace. This isn't just empty words. This is when your spirit is in sync. The presence of Archangel Michael means both protection and permission. It means you don't have to be afraid to move forward. What tried to hold you up before won't be able to do so after today. Jesus is putting a line around your life that you can't cross. Pay attention. What comes next will tell you why this had to get to you today, and why they couldn't wait even an hour longer. Now things start to make sense. Take a deep breath. You're safe. You are seen. Plus, you're right where you should be right now. Now that this message has gone on, know that what Jesus is doing now is more than just comforting you. He is making things clear. It's not always because you're not trying hard enough. Sometimes it's because of spiritual noise around you. You have had too many people talk to you, give you advice, and expect too much from your life. That noise is being turned down today by Jesus, so you can hear what has always been true. At this very moment, heaven wants you to calm down. You don't have to feel everything you've been feeling. Some of the weight you carried was not yours to carry. Jesus knows this, which is why he reached out to you today instead of letting you keep carrying extra weight. He steps in like this because he wants to help you figure out what is real and what is not in your life. Archangel Michael is still close by. He is not a faraway figure. He is protecting your spiritual space. Things will try to pull you away from him while he's there, but they won't be able to if you stay focused. Your heart is feeling alert for a reason. You can tell when someone is telling you the truth. That sense of recognition is coming back to life. Jesus wants you to think about something for a second. Remember the last few weeks. Pay attention to how things almost went well, but then stopped. Take note of how answers got closer and then farther away. What they did wasn't punishment. That was a wait for safety. There were doors that were closed because you weren't supposed to go through them yet. You would have been happy with less than what heaven wanted if you had. This is where things get serious today. You need to be smart, not desperate, as you move on to the next part of your life. Jesus is clearing up your vision so you don't mix up urgency and alignment. Something is not from God just because it feels like it came right now. Besides, something is not late just because it takes time. Heaven is precise and doesn't act in a panic. You were picked to see this because you need to make a choice. Not every choice looks dramatic. Some changes are quiet ones that happen inside you. You decide what you will no longer put up with, what you will no longer chase, and what you will finally trust God with. Today, Jesus is talking to that choice inside of you. Besides that, something else is being shown. You didn't realize how much someone else was affecting how you feel. Not always with bad intentions, but sometimes because they don't understand. Jesus doesn't want you to slash people off when you're mad. He wants you to stop letting them tell you what you're worth or where you should go. God can raise you up, but not everyone can go with you like they used to. It's important that Archangel Michael plays a part here. He tells the difference between truth and lies. Lines that were fuzzy are being drawn again. You will feel more confident in places where you were unsure. Not every answer will show up right away, though, but it does mean you won't doubt yourself as much. That's the first big step forward. Jesus also talks to your worry about missing out. You are afraid that you will miss your chance if you wait. Pay attention to this. Things that are meant for you can't go to someone else. Fear-based action is the only thing that can put it off. That's why this message came before the next step instead of after it. Remember that heaven is keeping you from regret. Right now, something is changing in the way you see things. You can rest without being weak, and you can be patient without being lazy. Jesus took a break before doing big miracles. Silence often came before the most important things he said. You are being asked to follow the same pattern. Don't rush through this moment. Being aware is what makes today so serious. As soon as you know you are in charge, they are responsible to listen, to pause, and to respond with thought instead of emotion. Jesus has put his trust in you to do that. He wouldn't have talked over you like this otherwise. Archangel Michael stays alert because there will be small tests, distractions, doubts, and everyday tasks that try to take your attention away. They are not dangerous on their own, but if you let them work together, they can weaken what God is doing. Keep your mind on it. Stay in the present. The deeper reason why this message couldn't wait will start to become clear in what comes next. What you have been praying quietly has something to do with what is about to happen in public in your life. They're not as far apart as you think. Take this in. You're not behind. We haven't forgotten about you. You are not forgotten. Care is being taken to get you ready, and getting ready can feel a lot like being still before moving. At this point, take a moment to let your spirit answer. If this getting ready is happening to you right now, type Amen in the comments. Not as a normal phrase, but as a quiet promise to heaven that you will be ready before you move. Your statement is more important than you think, and listening to this whole message will help seal what God is doing right now. Stay here. The next thing that happens will give you new information that will change how you think about everything that follows. Now, my beloved, we'll get to the heart of why this message feels so strong. Right now, Jesus is not only talking to you but also setting you up. There are times when God speaks softly and times when he speaks quickly. Today is important because soon something will respond to your obedience. Heaven is not waiting for things to happen. It is waiting to be lined up. Alignment starts in the spirit long before it shows up in your life. You asked God to show you something. Your silent question was whether you should hold on or let go, whether you should wait or move, and whether what you felt was real or just your feelings. That prayer is being answered right now by Jesus. There is still talk going on after this message. It's proof that the conversation has already begun. Witnesses include Archangel Michael. In the Bible, Archangel Michael was always there to defend truth when God was about to set it in stone. There is safety in what Jesus is telling you because he is here. There is no confusion that can change it. No fear has the power to stop it. Now is a clear moment, and clear moments always need a response. Also, this is why it's important to stay in touch. You choose alignment when you subscribe. In this case, you're saying yes to more instruction, confirmation, and clarity. I want you to understand this on a level of spirit. Keeping in touch puts you in a good position to receive what God gives you next. Over time, prophetic promises come true, and being aligned keeps you in place when heaven moves. This is what Jesus wants you to fully grasp. You will need to be brave for what is coming at you, not because it is dangerous, but because you have never seen it before. Pain that you know feels safer than blessing that you don't know. You've learned how to survive, but now God wants you to grow. What you are used to gets stretched when you expand. That's why this is both heavy and holy. Let me tell you something specific that Jesus is fixing in you right now. You've been measuring your progress by what you can see, but heaven measures progress by how well you follow the rules. It looks like you did more right than you think. You prayed even though it didn't seem worthy. You didn't get angry when you could have. It would have been easier for you to close your heart when you kept it open. You have more power than you think over these choices. This is also where you need to be responsible. When the truth comes out, it can't be hidden. You are being told to trust that God will lead you in the next step. even if it doesn't go as planned. These 30 minutes are about becoming aware, not taking action. Do not do something quickly. Let things settle down first. Things will naturally move forward. Take a moment to think about this message if it's hitting home. Like, share, and leave a comment about your faith on this message to let others know it exists. Keep in touch, because what's happening won't end here. Some people help God reach people who are still looking when they support and share messages like these. Now pay close attention, because what I'm about to say is very important. This is not a secret. That's why you were told not to talk about it yet. It keeps you safe. Not everyone can figure out God's timing, and telling others too soon can lead to doubt before faith is fully formed. Jesus told people a lot of times to be quiet until the right time. The same wise things are being taught to you now. Archangel Michael's job is to keep your trust safe. It will try to sneak up on you and ask if this is really God or just a coincidence. But chance doesn't always speak clearly. Answers, feelings, and timing don't always line up so well with coincidence. This is a divine arrangement. Wait, what's about to come next will link the work God has been doing that you can't see with something very useful in your life. You'll start to see patterns that aren't of failure, but of getting ready. A lot of people leave too soon at this point, but if you stay, the picture shines through. It is important to receive this spiritual activation before moving forward. Let that recognition rise inside you if this message is speaking to your spirit. A blessing has been cast over your life to bring you alignment, safety, and clarity this season. I feel Jesus telling me that those who help spread this word will never be short of anything. If you believe in what God is doing through this message, then you are truly supporting Him. You are giving souls water. The Bible says that when seed is planted in good soil, heaven makes rivers appear where there were none. Let me tell you straight out, your obedience right now opens the door to light for others who are still in the dark. Don't be afraid to give. Let it be a prophetic act. I pray that you always have enough to eat, and that God gives you many times what you give in faith. Do what your spirit is telling you to do right now. Now that the confirmation is out, Jesus is helping you get a better sense of what this change will look like. A lot of people get divine movement wrong because they expect noise, speed, and change right away. But what God is doing with you now is much more permanent, quiet, and steady. This isn't just a short-term emotional high. This is a change in your inner world that will make it easier for your outer world to follow. Some of your reactions may already be different. Things that used to make me anxious are starting to lose their power. Things that used to scare you now seem far away and almost small. That doesn't mean you're losing care. That's when you become stable. Jesus is keeping you stable so that what's coming won't be too much for you. You need to understand something important. A lot of the time, the enemy attacks just before clarity, not after. Being confused, tired, emotionally heavy, and having doubts about yourself were all signs that you were almost at a breakthrough. That's why this message had to get to you right now. Heaven doesn't tell you before the storm. Before it clears, it gets you ready. Because protection is still going on, Archangel Michael is still here. When alignment gets better, resistance often tries to show up for good. There is no danger ahead. It means that old habits are losing ground and are no longer valid. As your spirit gets used to this new position, you may feel emotional resistance at times. Do not see that as a failure. It's time for change. Here, Jesus wants you to get something very clear. You don't need to figure out everything on your own. You need to trust what is being shown to you one layer at a time. No, God doesn't give you the whole picture all at once. He does this to keep you from being too overwhelmed. You are getting just what you need right now, nothing more and nothing less. Under the surface, there is also healing going on. You are slowly letting go of old disappointments that you thought you had moved on from. Not by force or argument, but by telling the truth. When the truth comes in, lies naturally fall apart. You are becoming aware that some of the guilt you felt was not yours to bear. Some of the regret you used as an excuse to hurt yourself was forgiven a long time ago. This is where maturity starts to take the place of striving. There is no longer any need for validation or proof. You are learning to trust what God has said even before it comes true. That kind of faith is strong because it can't be changed by what's going on. Here, Jesus shows you how to be strong without being stiff, and how to be open without leaving yourself open to harm. In the next few hours and days, pay close attention to your discernment. You'll be able to tell what needs your attention and what doesn't. This will not be a judgment, but a peace. You will not feel as much pressure to perform or explain yourself, and you will not be as afraid of letting people down. That's growth, not change. The fact that Archangel Michael is there also means another thing. Boundaries are being set up again. People used to take advantage of your kindness, but now you are safe. Where your silence was taken as a sign of weakness, power is being established. You're not getting tougher, you're becoming more clear. And even when it's quiet, clarity always gets respect. Jesus is also getting you ready for a conversation or insight that is about to happen. It could be something inside you or someone else. In either case, you'll do something different than what you normally would. You won't act out of fear. You will answer from a place of understanding. That by itself will make a difference. Don't be surprised if you feel a strange mix of calm and excitement. That combination shows up a lot when God is about to do something that backs up what He said. Being calm means you're safe. When you expect something, you are ready. They show alignment when used together. What is happening now is very important. Even though it doesn't seem dramatic yet, the foundations set the stage for everything that comes next. Jesus builds slowly in places where He wants to build for good. Because of what He is building in you, you are not being rushed. Stay alert, but don't worry or focus too much. Just be aware. Allow the words you heard to stay with you. Let them change the way you think, rest, and pray. As the season changes, it will be more important to be wise than to move quickly. What happens next will start to show how this change inside will soon show up outside. There will soon be no doubt about the link between your preparation and your goal. Hold on to this moment. You're closer than you think. My beloved child, let's talk about what Jesus is doing in you on a deeper level right now. It is hard to notice this part, but it is strong. God is changing the way you think about the past so that it doesn't affect your future. A lot of people carry around old stories that God never wrote, and they keep going through the same emotional cycles without realizing it. Jesus is going to break that pattern for you. You've thought about some events so many times that you can't keep track of them. There are conversations, decisions, and chances you think you missed, or that you wish had gone differently. These mental loops are being gently broken today by Jesus. You don't have to forget about your past, but you should finally look at it with truth instead of regret. Shame stops speaking when the truth comes in. This is taking place now for a reason. You are getting close to a time when doubting yourself would be harmful. Not because you are weak, but because what God is about to give you needs trust that comes from Him, not from how well you do. Jesus knows that blaming yourself will cloud your judgment in the future if you don't deal with it. Since the next door is about to open, He is taking care of it now. Because this stage involves inner war, Archangel Michael continues to watch over. Instead of big, loud fights, you should have quiet talks with the thoughts you've been taking as true for too long. Sometimes I feel like I mess up a lot. I'm behind, or other people are better than me. These are not true. They sound like fear. His presence shows that these lies are being faced and taken apart. Take note of how Jesus does this. He doesn't blame you. You are not pushed by Him. He only shows you what isn't in line with who you are becoming. That's how God makes changes that last. Resistance is made by force. Revelation leads to giving up. You're not being pushed ahead. You are being pulled forward. Under the surface, something else is going on. You are becoming more aware of God's voice. You might notice little nudges, soft impressions, or moments of clarity that come to you without you having to do anything. This isn't making things up. This is being close. God speaks more clearly when you take the time to listen. Jesus is teaching you to know His voice without always having to be told. This is also a time to get better. Refinement doesn't mean taking away something valuable. It means making the purpose clear. Some desires are being changed. Some goals are becoming less ambitious or being changed. Not because they were wrong, but because they hadn't thought of everything. God is making you more driven so that when you succeed, it doesn't take away your peace. You might feel disconnected from things that used to interest you a lot. Drama wears me out. It's empty to compare. Validation doesn't seem necessary. That's not a lack of interest. That is growing up. When you find your identity in God, noise from the outside world loses its appeal. Jesus is showing you how to live so that you are full instead of hungry. This story also teaches us about trust. Not trust in the results, but trust in the way things are done. You're learning that God's timing doesn't punish being ready. It makes it better. What seemed like a delay was actually progress. You were getting better at things you thought were useless. You didn't know that you were building strengths in the background. There was no loss. The fact that Archangel Michael is still with you shows you that protection doesn't always look like rescue. Holding back is sometimes what it looks like. You were kept from things that would have worn you down. You couldn't go down paths that would have taken your attention away. At the time, it was annoying. Now that things are clearer, that anger is being replaced by gratitude. Jesus also wants you to know that you don't have to tell everyone about your growth. Growth that is real speaks for itself. People will notice when your point of view changes without you having to say anything. You will react in a different way. You'll make a different choice. You will rest in a different way. There will be a clear change. Pay attention to how calm you are. Peace will guide you now. If something is in line with God's will, you will feel peace, even if it makes you work hard. If something throws you off, your unease will tell you to be careful, even if it seems appealing. Jesus is teaching you to follow peace instead of stress. It might feel quiet here on the trip, but it's not empty. A lot of the time, the deepest work gets done in silence. Before anything else grows on top of the ground, seeds grow. Now you're at that stage. Don't bother what God is growing by giving it too much thought. As this calms down, get ready on the inside, not by trying hard, but by staying open, willing to learn, and willing to listen. What's coming will need the stability that God is putting in place right now, and what comes next will be strong, because this base is being laid carefully. Stay with this as it happens. You're not going nowhere. You are being led with purpose. The next part will start to show you how this inner change will soon show up in ways you can see and feel. As this message goes on, Jesus wants you to pay attention to how this work inside of you will start to affect your daily life. Changes in your spiritual life should never stay inside. In the end, it changes how you talk, what you choose, and how you handle everyday things. What is changing inside you will soon start to have an effect on things you used to feel helpless in. It's possible that you can already tell that your tolerance for being out of alignment is lowering. Things you used to put up with just to keep the peace now weigh you down. Revolt is not what this is. This is the awakening of discernment. Jesus is teaching you that peace is not having no problems, but having the truth. False peace can't last when the truth comes out. In the same way, your spirit is getting stronger, the kind that keeps you steady, not the kind that makes you loud or angry. You are learning how to stand up for yourself without having to say anything, how to trust without needing to be reassured, and how to wait without getting nervous. These things show that you are spiritually mature and get you ready for responsibilities that you can't handle when you're scared. The more clear you become, the more selective you must be. So Archangel Michael keeps watch. You should no longer be able to access everything. You don't have to be emotionally invested in every conversation. Even if the chance looks good, it might not be right for you. At this time of year, protection looks like smart thinking. In the same way, Jesus changes how you see authority. You may have been underestimating how much power your words and choices have for a long time. You put it off too quickly. Too often, you had doubts about yourself. Right now, God is giving you back your rightful power, but not over other people. It's over your own life. That is the first place where power must be used. Watch how you talk to people the next few times you see them. You'll notice that your answers are more deliberate, calm, and clear. You're not getting farther away. This is you getting grounded. You are less likely to get caught up in emotional chaos when you are grounded. There's one more thing Jesus wants you to understand. Distance often comes with growth, not because love goes away, but because things become less aligned. Some connections will change on their own. There will be conversations that are less interesting. This isn't loss. This is the change. Do not push what God is slowly moving. You are also being asked to join a new rhythm, an underlying beat that values rest and trusts the gut. You don't have to fill in every blank or prove every point anymore. You will find strength in the silence. In silence, you can make better decisions. When things are still, confidence grows. The presence of Archangel Michael also serves as a reminder that discipline is necessary to safeguard spiritual authority. Discipline in how you think, how you speak, and where you put your attention. You don't have to keep an eye on everything, but you should be careful. What you allow over and over again shapes what you eventually accept as normal. Jesus is getting you ready for a time when you will have to pick alignment over approval. Making a choice might be hard at first, but it will give you freedom in the end. Most of the time, obedience costs something in the short term, but pays off in the long run. Giving in is easy at first, but it costs a lot in the end. You are being taught how to tell the difference. As soon as you get this message, please take a moment to respond to it. You are doing more than just reading when you like. share, and think about something. You are a part of getting this message to people who need it. This is not a one-time word, so stay in touch. This is a journey that is still unfolding, and staying in sync is important. Pay close attention to this now. Being calm is not the same thing as being passive. It's getting ready. When God is about to trust someone, He doesn't rush them. He starts by making them stable. You are being held in place so that when the movement starts, you don't freak out or question your choices. You will soon have a chance to use what you are learning. It might not seem important at first, but it will have spiritual meaning. The way you answer will determine how things go from here. You won't fail the test that Jesus gives you. He is giving you more proof of what He has already built in you. Archangel. The enemy often tries to rush decisions when things become clearer, which is why Michael stays there. Being in a hurry without peace is a red flag. When things are in sync, there is peace, even if the next step is brave. Believe that inner voice. Right now it is being sharpened. Keep this moment in mind. A lot of people move on when their feelings get weak. On the other hand, wisdom stays active even after emotions calm down. This is where understanding gets stronger. This is where revelation turns into action. This word also has an anointing that is not just for you. You are giving what God has done in you to someone else who needs it when you share this message. It's not promotion to share. It's taking part. May that same anointing move through your life and into your network as you let it go. Stay with this as it happens. This is the point where listening turns into taking part. Write, "I choose alignment" in the comments if you know that God is teaching you to be wise instead of rushing. It's not about how well you do. It has to do with intent. By writing it down, you're confirming what your spirit already knows and staying in touch with what's going on here. Next, something very real will be revealed that will link everything you have been feeling inside with what is coming next. This part is very important to hear correctly because it will affect what you do next. My beloved child, we've reached a point where our understanding of one another is deeper. This message from Jesus is not about what you will do next, but about who you are becoming as time goes on. Identity is always more important than assignment. When assignments come first, they put pressure on you. But when someone is sure of who they are, assignment goes smoothly. That's why God has been so careful with this process. In a quiet way, you may start to feel more confident, not cockiness or reliance on yourself, but a calm awareness that you are being held, led, and guarded. Being sure of yourself doesn't shout. It doesn't match up. It doesn't move quickly. It just stands. This kind of trust from Jesus is what will hold you up because what's ahead will need steadiness more than speed. Jesus wants you to pay attention to something important about how you've been feeling lately. Your reactions aren't as strong as they used to be. Things that used to bother you no longer do. They just go right through you. Being numb is not that. That's what heals. When cuts and scrapes heal, pain can't control how you act. The fact that Archangel Michael is still with us shows that you need to strengthen your spiritual posture at this stage. Balance is based on posture, and endurance is based on balance. It is being taught to you how to handle responsibility without giving up. This isn't just a short burst of speed. It's training for the long term. In the same way, Jesus is correcting how you see opposition. You used to see problems as signals to stop. You are now learning to see them as signs of where to go. A lot of the time, resistance shows us where growth is happening. It doesn't mean you want to fight. but you're no longer afraid of it. There is also a lesson about knowing the difference between suspicion and discernment. There is peace and clarity in the mind. Suspicion is tense and restless. You can trust your judgment without overthinking it, because Jesus is teaching you that. You'll know when something is off when the peace leaves, not because you are afraid. That awareness is getting stronger. Pay attention to how your prayers are changing. Things are getting easier, more honest, and less like a show. You're not trying to say things that will make God like you anymore. When you talk to Him, you sound like you believe He will listen. That change is very important. God responds much more to sincerity than to words that sound good. You may also want to protect your inner world more and more. You are picking and choosing what you watch, listen to, and talk about. This is not cashing out. This is being a steward. You need to protect what God is building in you until it is strong enough to stand on its own. The presence of Archangel Michael makes it even more important to set spiritual boundaries. There are no walls at the edges. They work as filters. They let the things that feed you in and the things that drain you out. You are learning that sometimes saying no is a sign of obedience and not being selfish. Jesus wants you to know that rest is a weapon you can use. Anxiety loses its power when you rest in Him. Manipulation doesn't work on you when you don't rush. To rest does not mean to do nothing. It means to move without getting scared. That's how fast things move in heaven. You might feel a little out of sync with the people around you sometimes. Conversations might not go very deep. Some worries might not be as important now. This is not being alone. It's time for change. There are different people who are shifting at the same time as you. Don't be hard on yourself about this. Also, don't judge other people. Jesus also wants you to let go of the need to fully understand everything. Not everyone having to understand is not a requirement for obedience. People didn't understand Jesus either. Being in line with God is more important than getting other people's approval. This realization will free you from emotional work that you don't need to do. As this knowledge sinks in, you might feel a mix of mild excitement and seriousness. That combination means it's time to go. You know what's coming, but you're not scared of it anymore. Being brave doesn't mean not being afraid. It is the choice to put more faith in God than in fear. Because this is a crossing point, Archangel Michael stays close by. Outside it doesn't look very interesting, but inside it's very important. After reacting, you are now responding, surviving. You are now discerning, and you are now standing. When you cross, you don't want to go back. Don't take this too seriously, but do pay attention. Here, seriousness means paying attention, not being tense. Let the truth you are getting gently shape your posture. You don't have to make things change. There is already change. What comes next will start to connect this inner change to a certain path. Not every little thing, but enough to make you sure of the next step you should take. Stay in the present. Keep your door open. This is where things start to become clear. If you feel like God is leading you through a process that is still unfolding, now is not the time to step away. Signing up isn't about getting notifications. It has to do with placement. Layers of prophetic promises are revealed over time. Staying connected helps you stay on track with what God is confirming season by season. From here on out, my beloved, we will become more aware of our purpose. This part of what Jesus is telling you is more important because it connects your inner change to a divine plan that has been going on quietly for a long time. This is the part that a lot of people feel but can't quite put their finger on. You felt like your life was meant to be more than running from one thing to another, just getting through the days. In that sense, there was no imagination. Yes, it was recognition. Jesus is showing you that the way you've been getting ready has not been by chance. Your discernment was shaped by every season that tested you, every delay that made you work harder, and every quiet moment that didn't feel like it was getting anything done. God was not only making you who you are, He was making you more spiritually aware. Being aware of what's coming next is important, because what you're stepping into needs more wisdom than enthusiasm. The fact that Archangel Michael is here is important. This is when destiny and duty meet. Archangel Michael is there to protect you with truth and courage. His presence lets you know that you're not going forward by yourself. You don't have to figure things out on your own, heaven. You are being led, watched over, and given strength for what's to come. You have a calling on your life that doesn't feel like stress, but like a healthy fit. It might not fit with what people usually expect. It might not make everyone happy, but it will make you feel good. Jesus isn't telling you to follow someone else's path. He wants you to walk the path that was made just for you. Compare must finally lose its power at this point. When you compare your journey to someone else's, things become less clear. Your training, your schedule, and your goal are all unique. God doesn't rush the things He carefully makes, and He doesn't make a lot of destinies at once. Also, Jesus is clearing up a misunderstanding you may have had. You thought being ready meant always being sure of yourself. To be ready, you have to be ready to trust God even when you feel weak. Moses thought he was small. David felt like he was forgotten. I was scared for Esther. Still, they all moved forward when alignment told them to, not when comfort did. There will be times when obeying feels quiet and not seen. Do not forget about those times. The way heaven judges obedience is different from how the world does. What other people think is unimportant may have eternal weight. Because you are dependable in small things, you can handle more responsibility. It's also being said to you that calling doesn't take away your humanity. You will still feel things. There are still things you want to know. You won't be able to be stopped by those feelings or those questions, though. You can be humble and in charge at the same time because Jesus is teaching you this. It will take courage, so Archangel Michael stays close. Not bravery that is loud or dramatic, but bravery that lasts, the kind that always shows up. When there are shortcuts available, this type of person chooses integrity, the kind that stays obedient even when things take a while to happen. Jesus wants you to let go of something very important right now, a worry about messing up. Many people have been stuck because they are afraid of failing, even when God has told them what to do. God does not expect us to be perfect. He respects who is willing. Correction is a way to grow, not a sign that you failed. As this sinks in, you might feel both serious and calm at the same time. There is a holy mix there. It means you know how important what God is doing is, but it doesn't crush you. Peace is your sign that you are on the right track. There is also a spiritual sealing going on right now. You can't take back what has been shown to you. It's possible for doubt to come back, but it won't have the same power. You have reached a new level of understanding. If you feel like this crossing is real to you, please type Amen in the comments. It should be your confirmation that you are not going back to old habits or doubts. Our goal is not to show off in public. Being in agreement with what God has already told you is important. Don't leave this message yet. What comes next will help you understand it even better. Knowing what to do will help you see things more clearly from now on. Before reading on, allow this activation to take place in your spirit. If this truth is true in your heart, let that agreement rise up inside you. You have been blessed with clarity, courage, and divine alignment over your calling. I feel Jesus telling me that those who help spread this word will reap in due time. When you donate to this project, you are not giving money to the content. You're giving light fuel. The Bible says that people who plant their seeds in spiritual ground will never lack, either spiritually or naturally. I'm speaking straight to you. Your seed has a purpose, and your obedience opens doors for people who are waiting for hope. Let this act be foreseen, not put off. As you give, may God bless the work you do and give you more of what you give in faith. Now, my beloved child, as we move on, Jesus wants you to pay attention to discernment in action. Being passive and being smart about your waiting are two different things. You are not being told to be afraid and stop moving, or to be excited and move quickly. You are being asked to be alert and ready, which means that your spirit is awake, your heart is steady, and your decisions are based on peace. Right now, what you feel is not pressure. It's alignment getting ready to show itself. When you move, alignment always comes first. When God aligns you on the inside, doors open on the outside. You might start to notice small changes in your surroundings, in the way people talk to you, in the chances that come your way, or all of a sudden, you'll know what doesn't work anymore. These are not picks. They mean something. Jesus wants you to know that in this next season, discernment will be the most important thing that helps you. Not advice from everyone, not trends, not a sense of urgency, but smart thinking. With discernment, you talk less and listen more. It looks around before it acts, and it waits for peace to come before it moves. This is the maturity that God has been building up in you. Archangel Michael stays because it is important to protect discernment. When things become clearer, distractions often get worse. There may be a lot of good choices, but not all of them are right. Being wise means knowing the difference, being taught to see not only what is good, but also what is aligned. You are also getting better at dealing with uncertainty. In the past, unpredictability made you feel stressed. You needed answers right away. Now, uncertainty doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel dangerous. It feels open. This is because you put more faith in God's guidance than in your own need to be in charge. This change is very important because the next steps might not be clear at first. Jesus doesn't always show the whole path at the start. He tells you just enough to trust him and not be afraid. You are learning to walk by light, not by being able to see everything. Each step makes the next one brighter. That's how faith gets stronger without getting careless. You might feel like you can handle things better emotionally. Now, disappointments don't break you as much as they used to. No longer do delays feel like being turned down. From now on, you're looking at events through the lens of aim instead of feeling. You will avoid needless pain if you look at things that way. Archangel Michael's job is to keep your mind safe. Patterns of thought are changing. Where negativity used to keep going, now clarity comes in. Self-doubt used to be there, but now confidence is slowly growing. There may still be doubts, but they won't be able to stay put. The truth has moved in. Jesus is also teaching you how to recognize when God's timing is working. While some doors are easy to open, others will not. Of course, Easy doesn't always mean right, and hard doesn't always mean wrong. Being able to discern will help you know when to keep going and when to stop. That sensitivity is growing very quickly. You will be able to see peace. Question marks don't go away with peace. It shows that God is right there with them. When peace goes along with a choice, heaven is involved. When worry takes over, pausing is often a good idea. You might feel excited for a while, and then calm and serious again. That beat is good for you. Being too excited without a grounding causes burnout. Being serious without having fun makes you feel heavy. Balance is what keeps your calling going over time. And God is teaching you how to find it. Do not forget how powerful small steps that are taken in obedience can be. Being faithful over and over again leads to big results. You don't have to say what you're going to do or why you're making each choice. When God leads you, silence can be strength. What you do should speak for itself when the time is right. Jesus also frees you from the idea that you need to be sure of everything before you move. Faith does not take away the fear of the unknown. It makes you brave to go with it. You are learning to put more faith in God's character than in the things that happen to you. When Archangel Michael shows up, it means that spiritual power is working in a new way. You are also kept safe. You are allowed to. Having the freedom to say no, allowed to wait without fear, allowed to speak up without saying sorry. The power behind this is quiet, but real. As you listen some more, pay attention to how your spirit feels engaged instead of overwhelmed. God isn't giving you a lot of information at once. He is giving you wise advice. Stillness, not hurry, is where wisdom lives. Getting along is what this part of the journey is all about. All the things you've heard and learned are coming together to make you ready. Pay close attention here. A lot of people stop caring when they feel safe, but this is when understanding grows. What comes next will connect things and make timing, discernment, and purpose all point in the same direction. This is where insight starts to become movement. My beloved child, Jesus is now pointing out a quiet movement that will have a big effect in the long run. This is not a movement that makes a lot of noise. Changes in direction without chaos happen through movement. You're about to enter a time when you need to take action, but you need to act based on wisdom instead of impulse. In this lesson, God shows you how to move without trying. Momentum from God is not the same as momentum from stress. Movement that is driven by pressure is restless and tiring. Movement that is led by God is steady and has a plan. You might feel a rising readiness inside you. Not a sense of urgency, but a willingness. That willingness shows that the work of getting ready has been worth it. Jesus wants you to understand that you no longer need approval from other people to move forward. At one point in your journey, you felt like you needed approval. Now, reassurance is coming from being in sync with yourself. This is progress. When you turn to God as your compass, you can't be confused. Archangel Michael stays around because both being still and moving around need protection. Some people will not understand your choices as you start to act on what you know. A few people might question your timing. Others might not understand what you mean. Now is the time to be brave and smart at the same time. You don't have to persuade everyone. You are told to follow through. Chances may sneak up on you. Conversations can start out of the blue. Clear ideas may come to the surface. Some paths that felt blocked may start to open up. Do not rush through these times. Look at them. Use them to pray. Let peace back them up. Jesus is teaching you how to be free from fear when you have to be responsible. God's responsibility comes with grace. The weight of responsibility and expectation causes stress. The difference is being taught to you. Grace gets stronger. Stress drains you. There's also a lesson about being steady here. Small acts of faithfulness keep big changes going. Picking integrity when shortcuts show up. Being patient when things take a while to happen. These small choices have a bigger effect on outcomes than any big events ever could. The presence of Archangel Michael denotes that God is building something that will be safe through discipline. Discipline is not a limit. Structure is what makes growth possible. It will become more and more important to protect your time, thoughts, and energy. You're not getting stiff. You're going to do things on purpose. Jesus wants you to know that your confidence didn't just appear out of nowhere. Obedience, thought, and giving up were the things that built it. Now, your confidence will help you move forward. These won't be steps of fear, but steps of faith based on knowledge. Don't worry about being late. You are at the perfect time. You have chosen to move at this speed. Going faster would have hurt you. Slower would have made you give up. God made this journey just right for the person you are becoming. You might want to make your life easier more and more. Complexity makes things less clear. Jesus wants you to keep your focus simple so that your energy doesn't get spread out. When you sharpen your focus, you become more effective. It will be more important what you do than how much you do. The fact that Archangel Michael is still with you shows you that being protected does not mean you won't face any problems. It means that no challenge will be able to stop you. You're more stable now. Got roots now. Got it now. Jesus is also teaching you to trust the flow of things without tying your peace to results. You are learning to do what you need to do and let God take care of the rest. You are responsible for obedience. The results are God's. As this calms down, fear will have less of an effect on the choices you make. It might still whisper, but it doesn't lead anymore. It is being replaced by wisdom. That changes things in a big way. What comes next will show how this movement will impact not only you, but also people who are close to you. You have no idea how big what God is doing through you is. My beloved child, Jesus wants you to see how this change is already affecting others. God never does things by himself. What he builds in one life is often meant to give other lives light, stability, or direction. People have been watching to see how you handle stress, how you react, and how you stay calm. Nobody could hear you when you were quiet, but your life did. That's why getting ready took so long. Influence that isn't based in reality does harm, but influence that is based on humility heals. No one is putting you in a position to impress. You are set up to make an impact. Write, "I accept my assignment" in the comments if you feel like your life is being shaped to make an impact instead of getting attention. These words are quiet but strong. It's not a claim of perfection when you write it. You are saying that you are available, and heaven responds more quickly to having space than to having talent. People may be more willing to talk to you, looking for your presence, your opinion, or just someone to listen. This is not a mistake. People naturally want to live in peace. Archangel Michael stays close because having more power means having to be smarter. Being overexposed is not necessary for compassion. Jesus is showing you how to love without giving up who you are. It is becoming clear who is responsible. Being responsible is not a burden. It's being a steward. Your words, time, attention, and energy are being managed as you learn this. These resources are holy. They matter where you put them. Intensity will not matter as much as consistency. This is how you are being trained to last. Through uncertain seasons, endurance gives you a reason to keep going. You are getting stronger spiritually. You might feel more responsible, not out of fear, but out of honor. It's important that you don't live carelessly. This is not a restriction, but respect. When Archangel Michael is around, it means that integrity is being strengthened. Beliefs and actions are in line with integrity. You are changing into someone whose actions match their beliefs. If you want to be patient with people who are not yet where you are, follow what Jesus says. This is not being better, it means getting it. You needed grace too at one point. Don't feel the need to hurry things for other people. You can't make growth happen. You can't speed up the healing. Don't try to fix things, instead think about them. Your prayers are changing again as this calms down. You want help more than you want things to change. You want to go with God, not ahead of Him. We call this embodiment. No longer do people just understand the truth. It is lived. It may seem quiet here, but this stage is very strong. This is where patterns, not moments, shape a legacy. This is the crucial moment, my beloved child. Not the end, but a divine settling of all that has been said and formed inside you. Jesus isn't in a hurry to end this, because what is being sealed must last long after feelings fade. Right now, what you're getting is assurance. You are on the edge of something. Thresholds are holy places. They mark points in time when the old doesn't define you anymore, and the new doesn't seem so far away. You're not taking blind steps. What you are stepping into has already been set up. Take note of how you feel now, compared to the beginning of this message. It's no longer urgent but clear. Peace has replaced weight. The doubts have turned into trust. This is how God finishes what He starts. Archangel Michael is still there to see that everything is finished. What has already been set up is safe. It can't be taken, changed, or undone. This is what Jesus wants you to understand. There's already one sign for you. The sign was this message. From now on, remembering will be the basis of faith. Remember how fear gave way to peace. Remember how clarity got rid of the mess. The days to come will be fine. Not normal is not the same as loss. The truth is lived out in the ordinary. You will now be strong in being consistent. You've been freed from perfection. Growth does not rule you out. Mistakes don't stop you from calling. You don't have to carry this perfectly. People expect you to carry it honestly. Your identity is no longer in danger. You're not driven by fear or comparisons. Being stable is a gift. The presence of Archangel Michael reminds you that protection goes beyond revelation. Heaven doesn't go away after talking. God stays. Move forward with respect, not force. Let go of old expectations. Get rid of false timelines. Let go of voices that are no longer in charge. You don't know everything that will happen next, but you do know enough. You listen well. Peace lets you know when to take a step. Okay, that's enough. Know this before you leave this moment. You are not following a video when you like this message. This is your response to what God told you. It's an act of agreement to like this, and agreement starts flow. Please let God's favor start to move on your behalf as you respond. May He open up what was blocked and strengthen what He has already set in motion. This easy thing you're about to do can become a release point for peace, clarity, and divine help in your life. You should get this seal. You are now living in a time of alignment, peace, discernment, and divine direction. Don't feel obligated to support what God is doing. Do it because you want to. This word was meant to reach you. Be rooted, aware, and not afraid as you walk forward. If this word made you stronger, don't keep it to yourself. Send this message to someone who is still getting confirmation. Your breakthrough is not lessened by what God does through you. It makes it bigger. As you share, may clarity, courage, and alignment come into your life and the lives of those who are close to you. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high-vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.